This is Jimi Hendrix, and this is episode 6, Mindset, with Les Brown on Empower 360. I'm James Anthony Hendrix Jr., but we're friends. You can call me Jimmy. I am a motivational speaker. I am a success and thrive coach at Diversity Authority. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I want to help you if you desire more. You desire a better and extraordinary life. I also hope to give you the spiritual and temporal tips to help you overcome the adversities of everyday life. Okay, guys, we're going now into the Leadership Triangle. We're going to Leadership Triangle, and we're going to listen for a little while to Les Brown talk about mindset.
Hello, my name is Les Brown. This is Baby Brown's Baby Boy, and I want to thank you so much for joining us. You know, at this particular time, I want you to, first of all, pat yourself on the back and take the time to thank yourself for becoming involved in the process for looking at your life. If there's ever time that we need to begin to stop and think and assess ourselves, that time is now. When you begin to look at the foreclosure rate that's going on in the country, the foreclosures and the bankruptcies, and in addition to that, the violence and people losing their jobs, and the level of uncertainty and fear that people are feeling. And I think there's a level of stress in the air unlike anything we've ever felt before. And so just to take the time to think, to pause, and particularly not only looking at what's going on, but asking yourself the question, how's this affecting me? You know, we want to all become successful, but I've found that there's some success that's toxic success. What I mean is that you don't want to end up going after goals and dreams and neglect yourself. I want you to think about your goals and dreams and things that you want to achieve, and at the top of the list, I want you to put up there your strategy for being here. I just came from the doctor. Let me share something with you. I don't care what goals and dreams that you have. You've got to have your health in order to be here. So at the top of my list, and I'm suggesting you put it at the top of your list, your strategy, your game plan for being here. What are you going to do to take better care of yourself? That's one of the first things I want to ask you about. Because when I look at my life at 64, and I used to think people in their 50s were old, but now that I'm 64, I said, look here, people in their 80s and 90s, they're old people. My goal is to be here not only just to see my grandchildren, but to see my great-grandchildren and my great-great-great-grandchildren. But in order to be here, that's not just lip service, that's a commitment with my time, with my energy, and the choices that I make. So I want you to think about your strategy for being here, and I want you to think about your goal for securing your life in your future. See, as I get older, my goal right now is to become an asset to my children rather than a liability, financially and physically. See, I don't want to be a burden to my children. I don't even know if they like me that well. See, I love my mama. My goal and dream was to take care of my mother. I did that. I brought her home. I took care of her until she was 89. But children, they're different today. These are different type of people up in here. You don't know what this generation might do. I know they say, Dad, we love you, but I really, really want to stay in good shape and take care of myself, because I don't want to be around the house and my kids saying, look here, who's going to take care of him today? All he's doing is sitting around talking to himself about, yes, I can, and yes, I will, talking out of his head. No, I don't want that kind of party for me. My goal and objective is to die young at an old age. So I have a game plan. I don't like to eat vegetables all the time, but now I feel like a silly rabbit. Why? Because I realize at this stage of my life, I've got to eat more vegetables, I've got to get more rest, I've got to drink more juices, and I've got to do all of the things and make the healthy choices that will say to my body, Les, you plan to be here, I see that you're serious, so I'm going to take care of you. I do 160 push-ups every morning nonstop. Why? I couldn't do that at 15 or 20, but at this stage of my life, I've got to do those kinds of things in order to challenge my body, to stretch my body, and to indicate I plan to be here. What's your plan? What's your goal? Because if you don't have a goal for being here is not a given. When I was a kid, we used to go to funerals of old people. I can't tell you how many young people whose funerals I've gone to. I can't tell you how many. And so, and there's something about between 40 and 60. I don't know what it is about that period time. Between 40 and 60, if you're approaching 40, I can tell you, you already know, life begins to intensify. Things happen to you, things happen to people you care about. Between 40 and 60, if you can make it through that period, you can take a deep breath, because most people don't make 60. Most people don't. And why? And I think it's because people just take it for granted that they're going to be here. So I want to share with you some goals and strategies as you think about your goals. I want you to visualize yourself having optimal health. Having your right mind. I used to ask my Mama, every Sunday you stand up in church and other older members of the church say, I want to thank the Lord for waking me up in my right mind this morning. Why do y'all say that all the time? She said, don't worry, son. You live long enough, you'll find out. She was absolutely right. I went in the room the other day to find something. I got in there, and I couldn't remember what I was looking for. I came out, I remembered what I was looking for. I went back in, I found it. Then I couldn't remember why I was looking for it. One of my children said, Daddy, you need some ginkgo biloba. I said, what's that? She said, something for your memory. I went down to the health food store. I was walking around. The lady said, may I help you, sir? I said, I forgot why I'm here. She said, you need something for your memory. I said, I know. So they took me over to a little section, and I bought the stuff, and then I took it home. Now, I can't remember where I put it. So when I got up this morning, I said, I want to thank the Lord for waking me up in my right mind this morning. See, if you woke up in your right mind this morning, that's a good thing. I called a friend of mine the other day, Miss Williams. I said, Miss Williams, how you doing? She said, baby, I'm doing good. She said, I went to the bathroom by myself, not all myself. I said, too much information, too much information. Let me tell you something. But that's a good thing. I know about that. I've been in the hospital. I know what it is not to be able to move. I know what it is to have back challenges. I know what it is to be in pain. So this thing called life, you got your health? Let me share something with you. That's a good thing. A friend of mine, Bishop T.D. Jakes, said, if you got a problem man or money can solve, you ain't got no problem. I can agree with that. And I learned some things going through that experience. And really, I should say, growing through that experience. My goal at that time was to be here. And trust me, it's better be seen than to be viewed.
All right. This is where we get down to brass tacks. I love what T.D. Jakes said. I love what Les Brown says. You can't be a success if you don't work on yourself and your mindset, okay? I was talking to a friend, and of course, we'll probably deal with this at some point again with that same friend. He's being featured. He's being featured here in a couple episodes. You already know. Anyway, it's like this. You need the positive mindset to be able to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and plant your feet onto the platform, the solid ground of success. And that means taking care of yourself. And that means being there for those that love you. I'll tell you something. The power outage we had in Texas, plus the trip I took to Port Aransas, that was a mind blower, a game changer for me. Because it all goes down to mindset, okay? You remember episode 43? I mean, not episode 3. Episode 3, okay? 3 episodes back. I talked about the CAP method. Here is a set of words you should get rid of in your mindset. Should. Ought. Okay? Because here's the problem with that. It's a should rule. And should rules are part of what I call herd mentality. The reactive culture. You know that I'm speaking to you the truth. I remember when I was 13 years old, I was so impressionable and willing to do some of the things that my friends were telling me to do. And my mama said, James, son, if he told you to jump off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge? I'm like, well, Mama, of course not. And Mama says, well, there you go. Here's the thing. Herd followers, they say we're all in this together. But here's the problem with that. It eventually evolves into my way or the highway. Reactive culture. Guys, I'm speaking my heart. If I did everything that the experts told me to do, I would nowhere near be where I am today. The shoulds, the oughts, the can'ts. Remove them from your mindset here and now. Because if you don't, you're in trouble. You have great potential inside you. And you know you can tap into it. Let me tell you something. Something I learned from that dream I had a few nights ago. You know that it was a couple of episodes ago, in episode 4, I talked about it. When I was searching for that micro cassette recorder, and the voice said that I was crazy, I was lucky in the dream to have someone say that I was not crazy, but that I was different. Now, what I gathered was whether I found the micro cassette recorder was besides the point. The point was, am I on this adventure to success? And am I in the right mindset? Am I? Come on. You know it's not that hard. People come up to blind people in planes sometimes like, well, can you dress yourself? Well, it's like, yeah. And, you know, I'll start walking a path. And some people are like, well, won't you get lost? When you have the birth defects I have, you learn to adapt. It's a mindset set in stone, but it's a growth mindset, okay? In junior high, I had a vision resource teacher that said, James, I'm only going to show you your classroom once. And then you're going to show me that you can find it so that you can be on top of things. When classes finally started. And I know, beginning of 7th grade, I was like, woo, I was nervous, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like crazy. But here's the thing, guys. You need the mindset. It's okay to kind of go along with a current every once in a while. But sometimes that current gets reactive. You need to stay away from reactive. A reactive mindset is pretty much a fixed, my way or the highway mindset. But a proactive mindset is one that is growth and variable. It's set in stone. You know you're going to change, and you are the man or the woman that's willing to go out there and pound it through to your success.